Testing, testing. This is Tenor Ballet with a crochet update. Some chattery and behind the scenes. So, remember when I told you all that I was crocheting a granny square vest in inspired by Karai from the Ninja Turtles series, Nickelodeon series 2013? Well, you can see it on Instagram now. Um, so yeah, you can see the vest now, front and back, which is like, yeah, you'll see all of that. Um, arm like wristband type thing is in progress. Um, the belt slash sash. I have no use for it. And that took me so many days to make. Um, I'm gonna have to find some type of use for it. I'm thinking like maybe a head adornment, perhaps. Maybe a wrist tie. Like, yeah. So those are the um, new ways I've thought to utilize the belt sash that I made. That originally I made to connect the one of the sides. I was gonna sew one side up and leave the other side unsewed and thread the sash through it just in case of size issues. So, sizing issues to wear because this is a wearable. I'm making like a cosplay type of ordeal here. So, of course, I would like to wear it. Um, so yeah, that is it's not even needed. What happened was um, I connected the first side, one of the sides, and I enjoyed connecting the sides. So I was eager and ready to connect the other side, not even thinking about the sash. The sash didn't even cross my mind. Like, okay, so my original idea didn't even cross my mind till after I made the last. I put like two knots in it and finished it off and cut the yarn and I enjoyed the feeling of connecting the sides together and then all that all the way to the end held it up to see my progress, like, yay. And then I looked and I was like, I knew I was going to do that. Like, I knew I was going to. I have sewed up both sides. I was like, I had thought to leave one side open. Okay, so how this came about is one, it feels so good to connect, to connect. How I connected was I think it's called the granny stitch join. The granny stitch join. I'm not exactly sure, but it is the granny stitch, and you are joining. So I had looked up when I was crocheting granny square hearts for a pillow. I had looked up how to um, join the squares together, and I didn't want to necessarily like do like a mattress stitch or a hidden join, like sewing it with needles. I wanted to connect them. Oh, I think it's called join as you go. So I wanted to connect them like that. So I looked that up and I liked that. So I will, as I was creating this vest, when it came to connecting, I was thinking in my head, why not connect? When I have to connect, why not connect like that? Utilizing that method. What's up with that? So I like that idea. I worked it out in my brain and figured it out and got it done. Tried some different ways, but mostly the basic. Just really just trying like um, changing it from like 3 stitches at the end or 1 stitch, and I frogged it out and left it as 1 stitch because that's how I was granny stitching the rest of the additional straps and sides when I was creating that. It just had been a while since I had worked on it. So yeah, I got that all figured out. And also like when I went to join on the other side, like whether my yarn was in the front or in the back, I played around with that a little bit. Um, so yeah, it felt so good to join like that, and that I was eager to join the other side. Join the other side, tried it on. It fit loosely, actually. uh, from the sides that I joined. And I tried it on without the straps sewed together. So I just had the 2 sides of the body of the vest connected, and I tried it on like that. And I had mucho room. So, um, how the join as you go method is like, well, how I did it, it's like I gave two extra rows to the join part. So I was like, this might not be a great way to join if you're like specific with your measurements when you're creating a wearable. Adding 2 extra rows. So I added, by using that method, I added 2 extra rows to each side. So that's why I had mucho room when it came to the body part. So I was like, okay, duly noted. If I wanted it to fit, uh, you know, be fitted, then I would use a different method that didn't add 2 extra rows. So maybe not adding the 2 extra rows, I might have could have used the sash, but yeah, whatever. I enjoyed how the join as you go felt while creating it, and I did the straps that way. So I got 2 extra rows on the straps, and I was like, wow, this 2 extra rows things. If I had added more straps, then it would have been like it would have came down more. And I really was trying to make it like a tank top per se, kind of like a fighter type sports bra type of thing, like what do you call those things? Not a tube top, but um in between tube top, sports bra, fighter, chest vest type of thing. So yeah, it's done. I haven't tried it on since I sewed up the straps. Um, I just started on the when I sewed up the straps, I put it up and um, took a picture of it to um, clock it, and yeah, I got it done before Halloween. As far as sewing it up goes, now I have the sew-ins, the yarn to sew in. Um, if I sew them in, sometimes the yarn like looks good, like not sewed in. So I'm gonna look closer at it. What I did with the yarn was make sure that it was coming out from the um, okay, so especially the top part, I took notice of where I was going to be starting and stopping so that the yarn can stick out towards each side instead of coming in towards the neck, or instead of one coming out to one side and one coming in towards the neck. By me um, doing what I did on one side. So I made sure to flip flop it so each end of the yarn would come out, one on the right, one on the left. So when I look at it and see if I'm going to sew them in, or if I'm going to braid them up, or if I'm going to add beads to them, and they could be like some type of, I don't know, some type of something to like on the on the vest, like I don't know, ribbons or something, like something. I'm gonna see what it look like, and then go from there. And then I've started on um the wrist, like I said, the wrist cuffs, the cuffs. So um I took out what I no. Okay, so I had started a cuff like maybe last month or the month before that, and I don't know what was happening. Oh, I was making it for the upper arm, but it wasn't. It wasn't. Eh. So I took it out. I told you all about that. So I took that out, but not all the way because I thought I could save the some of the rows. Um, 'Cause I had worked on that a few days as well, and I thought I could make a cuff just by taking some of the rows out, but not all of them. But I had did like um, single double crochet stitches all the way across, even though it's a granny square. So that one is sitting, waiting for me to handle it right now. So what I did this week when I finished, or what I did today actually, when I finished the vest. Actually, I finished the vest. Yes. Wait a minute. What time is it? Okay, so it's Monday. So I finished the vest on Saturday. Yes, yes, yes. I finished the vest Saturday night. Um, and I started on another cuff Sunday. And so with this cuff, instead of doing single double crochets across a granny square row on the side of a granny square, eh, I started with the granny square stitch, and I'm continuing to add rows like the granny square stitch to be adjacent to the granny square, like I did with the granny square vest. So to be cohesive. So I'm liking how that's looking. So far, so good. And it's really easier than what I did with the single double crochets. Also, like I had mentioned earlier, it's that I had to redo what I did because I was adding more stitches and increasing, and I didn't want to do that. So, how I was adding more stitches and increases is I was like making 3 double crochet stitches in the corners of each side. So I did that for like 2 to 3 rows, and then I noticed it was increasing, so I took it out and I went back to like one um, double crochet stitch, which would be the turning chain. So you make 2 chains and then turn. And then if it's a space, what I did was add 2 more stitches. And I don't even know if I did that for the granny square vest because it's been a while since I worked on it. So, I mean, as far as creating those additional rows, like I don't know if that's what I did. Like I know some rows it's just one double crochet stitch, and then you skip the cluster, and then you create the 3 double crochet stitches, and then in some rows when you create the chain there's a space. So in that space, that's where I'm adding the 3 things. I think that's what I did. I think that's what the pattern calls for. So yeah, doing it that way. Um, so that's that update. Let me take a drink of water. All right. So yeah, the tie slash belt slash sash. That might work well in my hair. Like maybe do a like a tie up do. Like a type of like a fighter's type of tie up do. I don't know. Or it could do well on the wrist. You know, fighters have that like sash type. I don't know, leather or fabric tied around their wrist. It might could work like that. So that's how it's going so far. The best is where it's at before October. Yay! Because it was my goal to get it completed before Halloween. So I could potentially wear it. Um, the cuffs are on the way. The wrist cuffs. I was thinking of making boot cuffs, but I don't know. Like I thought I made 4 squares, but it's looking like I just made 3. Like I thought I made 4. Like in addition, I thought I made like 1, 2, 3, 4. I thought I already made like the squares for the wrist and the squares for the boot cups, but I only have 2. So I'm gonna make the wrist cuffs. I don't know if I'm gonna make boot cuffs, but I was gonna have to make 2 more squares for the boot cuffs. I don't know. Um, the first cuff I attempted was like similar to the style of a boot cuff, but it wasn't as stretchy as I would have liked it to have been. So, um, 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 the only thing I've created that's stretchy like that is some knitted items. Um, um, I did crochet a scarf that was like mimicking the stretch, but it doesn't hold the stretch when I crochet. Like it just stretches. It doesn't hold the stretch. It just stretch. So I'm like, ugh. unless I do the granny square stitch on the boot cuffs. I don't know exactly. I just had like a vision of like some like instead of making the whole thing connect, you know how Shredder has like straps on his boots? Like he has at least three straps on his boots, like the black straps, like one, two, three. Kind of looks like the inline skates when they have those plastic things that open and close and tightens the skates. That, so instead of making a whole panel that connects the right side to the left side to go around, maybe I could do a strap at the top, a strap in the middle, and a strap at the bottom. Kind of reminiscent of like a elbow pad or a knee pad, but it'll be on the calf. Well, that's all the crochet update that I have for you, other than um, there are crochet books available at my bookshop, and my blog post, which is my bookshop. I connected the two so you can see what's available. You can let me know what you would like to see. Um, when I do add a book, it is automatically up, generated into the blog post. So you can look there, you can look in the shop, links in the description box. Do join the Facebook page. I am sharing links to books and the bookshop there. Um, Thank you to everyone who has liked the page. Um, thank you for your interaction with the posts, and checking out my grand opening for the bookstore that is continuing weekly during the month of September. Um, so there will be an event coming up. Um, month of September. So that's crochet books. And if you're not reading yet and you're into the movies and you're reading you're reading the movies, you're watching movies, um, and you want to know what to watch during the month of September, let me give it to you now before September's over. So while September is in full effect right now, starting off, kicking off, popping, um, Ma is available on Tubi right now. It's a great September movie. I did watch it recently, rewatched it actually recently, um, because I was I heard, how did I hear? I don't know if it was an interview or something that was saying that Ma wasn't written for a black woman. And with that information, I wanted to see if I could um, hear that in watching it, because when you see it with your eyes, and you see a black woman. So I wanted to, okay, not see her as her color, but see if I can hear that it wasn't written like that. And I was able to hear that it wasn't written like that. Like, ain't nobody called her out her name. Nobody called her the N word. Nobody called her a BB. Like, nobody did that. They just looked at her cuckoo, but they didn't say anything about her color. So I could envision, like, this was somebody named Susie Ann, whoever her name was, and that somebody else was doing this, and that the actress was just playing the role of the movie. So with that tidbit, go and see if you can see what I see too. And it's a great September movie, and if you have seen it, and you know why it's a great September movie, let me know in the comments below. And when you do watch it and you see why it's a great September movie, come back in and let me know in the comments why it's a great September movie. So yeah, that's my movie recommendation for the month of September. We talked about books. Books are available. You can let me know what book you're looking for. I have added a special book that started off my podcast. I have added it to the bookshop. So that's available on the bookshop. Crochet updates has been dispelled and we're out. Thank you so much. If you came in, liked, shared, commented, subscribe to the channel, liked on Instagram, and all those good things. Thank you so much. Toodles.